أحب الوفاء بشتى الصور، أحب الوفي الأمين الأغر، فأهل الوفاء كلون السحاب وحسن الربيع وماء المطر.
Refuse a request from Jesus. So, as an example, the book of Acts chapter 2 verse 22, we are told there, "Hear, O Israel, Jesus Christ, a man approved of God by miracle, wonders and signs which God did through him, as you already know." Now, what are they saying there? That Jesus Christ was a man. He did a lot of things which were unbelievable, but who did them? God did them through him. Now, I'm asking the brother, look, there is evidence in the Bible where it clearly confirms that whatever Jesus asked for from God, God answered. And that is found in John 11, chapter 11, verse 41. The instance there is, his disciple who dies. Who? Nazareth? Excuse me? Lazarus.
What do you think about Isaiah 53?
Can I just come to that in 2 minutes? Yeah, no problem. Yeah? You see, in John chapter 11, verse 41, it talks about Lazarus. Christ comes because they are saying to him, look, he's been dead for 3 days. Yeah? There will be a stench coming out. Yeah? Jesus Christ tells them, if you had a grain of, conviction in the Creator, you will see many great things. But he said that, according to the narrative, he said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me." What did he ask? When he says that in John chapter 11 verse 41, he says, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me." What did he request? Now, if you take in conjunction with Acts 2:22, yes? With 2:22, it's clear that he asked permission from God to bring Lazarus back from the dead. Now, the verse is very important in the next segment. "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I know that you always hear me." I know that you always hear me. Now, in English, what does the word always mean?
Yeah, but
Always.
when Jesus said,
The will, yes. Yeah.
the will of God was that Jesus was crucified.
Okay. Now,
So he asked that his will.
yeah. But that is based on Isaiah 53.
That's what we have
Amongst
to,
others.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go to
But
Isaiah
That's what
53.
we have to look at. What is
Yeah.
the will of God? Because it was obvious that Jesus had various opportunities to escape the cross. He didn't have to go to Jerusalem. He didn't have to proclaim he didn't have to do what he did. But the whole plan of his life was to be crucified and to suffer and to die.
Right.
And that was the will of God for him.
Yeah.
To suffer and die like that. So I would say the will of God, he submitted to the will of God. The will of God was that it would carry on
Okay.
as planned.
No problem. I don't have a problem with that, brother. But there's one vital element you have missed. You yourself are saying that was the plan of God.
For him.
I would say that the evidence is showing that the plan was God to take him right up to there and still save him. Would you have a problem with that?
Sorry, the plan of God was?
The plan of God was he will be taken because he has asked the Creator to take control of the situation. Yeah? The situation was this, that he did not want to die. He is asking God, save me from this cup. I am saying to you, look, if you look at the plan of God, I am saying I agree. The plan of God was to take him up to there and save him. Now, if you take it, to what you were saying, to Isaiah 53 as one, many a time I ask my Christian friends, you see, Isaiah 53 is supposed to describe this suffering servant.
Suffering servant.
Yeah, it is, yes. But you will notice that none of my Christian friends who read this ever have come across verse 10, 11 and 12.
Yeah, we just read it.
Did you?
Yeah, we just read
Yeah?
it.
Good. What does it say?
I'll find it back. Just a second.
Find it. Yeah?
We just read the whole of
Isaiah 53.
you have
Great.
to start in 52.
Yeah.
It starts about the suffering
That's
servant.
fine. That's fine. Oh, excellent. Even better. Oh, thank you.
Oh, it's in.
Is this Isaiah 53?
53.
Okay.
This whole thing? Here. Oh, right. Okay.
Shall I read it out?
Yeah, please.
But with the Bible, you need to. You can't just take one verse.
Yeah.
You have to.
Is this yours? Can I
Yeah,
keep
but
it?
you can have
Thank you very much.
You have to read the whole bit. So
No, you
it's
should
not-
read it from Genesis to Revelation.
Well,
I said.
we'll be here for a few weeks. Anyway, I just read one bit, but you have to read
sure,
what's
sure.
before.
Okay,
and
no,
behind as well,
understandable.
because it's about the suffering.
Understandable.
Okay, from 10, yeah? Yet it was the will of the Lord to crush him. He has put him to grief. When his soul makes an offering for guilt, he shall see his offspring. He shall prolong his days. The will of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. Out of the anguish of his soul he shall see and be satisfied. By his knowledge shall the righteous one, my servant, make many to be counted righteous, and he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore I will divide him a portion with many, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong,
Yes.
because he poured out his soul to death, and was numbered with the transgressors.
Right.
Yet he bore the sin of many, and makes intercession for the transgressors.
Right. Now, verse 10, 11, and 12. If you noticed, it says, he shall see his offspring, and he shall prolong his days. Now, what does offspring mean in the Bible? Children? Whose children is it talking about? Yours. But it's talking about one individual suffering
the
servant.
children.
No. Read it again. I'll read it. So you've got it here.
Yeah, okay.
It
his,
says-
his offspring are all who believe in him.
Now,
That's his offspring.
that's
Okay.
your belief.
No,
What does the
that's his-
evidence
that's
say?
his-
I just say,
That's from
yeah, great stuff,
That
good.
was preparation.
Yeah, you see, he will see his offspring and prolong his days. Whose days?
His own days.
Whose days is it talking? Jesus. Well, if he's talking about Jesus, then who is he talking about before that? Now, not only that, I would suggest.
No, it's the Messiah. We didn't know it's Isaiah, so he's talking about the Messiah that is to come 500 years before.
Great. Yes.
So now we know his name, Jesus. Okay.
No, we don't know his name.
Well,
We don't know his
I
name.
would say his name is Joshua. Okay.
No, it's not even
Anyway.
that. There's no
But-
name mentioned in the Bible.
So Isaiah predicts
Yeah.
this Jesus or this Messiah
Yes.
shall see his offspring,
Yes.
and this Messiah shall prolong his days.
What does that mean?
He will live again. He rose. He's alive.
Now, you see,
Still-
I can see clearly, and I appreciate the interpretation there. But if we are to take the Bible's evidence as a whole, I would suggest this to you: that in the Old Testament, when God made it very clear that look, if you commit sin, you are going to die. Yeah, that's what the Old Testament says. The soul that sins, it shall die. Okay. If I can just
But then
finish,
you are
brother.
filling in. Why did Jesus die? Just for sin? No, Jesus died because he was the Messiah.
No, before you go there, that's a different issue now. The evidence is actually separate from what you are saying. What I am saying is, if you look at the evidence itself, it is guaranteed giving you a very, very different picture. And I'm only picking on a few things here. There are quite a few more. So what I am saying is, look, if I were to tell you, sister, that God has a plan, the plan is to forgive everybody. Yeah? He says to me in the Old Testament, if I were to commit sin, yeah, I will die. The soul that sins, it shall die. But now it takes a turn which is odd, because it goes against what our Christian friends actually think. Yeah? It says, the Father shall not bear the iniquities of the Son shall not bear the iniquities of the Father. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. Now the next verses are vital, because it says there, it says, nevertheless, the one who turns away from sin, he shall surely live, he will not die. What does that mean? It is obvious, isn't it? If it says the soul that sins shall not die, it's not talking a literal death, is it? Because the verses at the bottom say if you turn away from sin, you shall surely live, you will not die. It's not a physical death it's talking about, guaranteed. So the question is, if God in the Old Testament has set a precedent that forgiveness can be given by asking for forgiveness from God, who changed it? I would suggest humans have changed it. How have they changed it? In the book of Ecclesiastes, I'm looking at the evidence, brother.
No, you're on a sidetrack.
Not at all.
The reason you're talking about the reason why did Jesus die? Did he die just to forgive sin?
No, brother. The question was not why did he die. We said, did he die?
Yeah, no. I would say he died to conquer sin, to have victory. He has the Messiah means he's the king, he's the authority. His authority is higher than whatever sin you may be stuck in. Because he is actually in charge. He's conquered even death. So he has authority. That's what the Messiah means. Because Jesus is the Messiah. He's not just the forgiver of sins. He's also the king. He establishes a kingdom.
So
no problem. That means you accept his kingship, you will obey his commandments.
Brother, I have no problem with. Sorry.
And that's
Sorry, sister.
why he died.
So
that is why he died. If you focus only on the forgiveness of sin, you miss most of what he did. It's a good point, but it's not everything. So
I agree, it's not everything.
It's
first, absolutely. Now you see, I agree with you totally, but what I am saying to you, brother, is look, you are preceding your belief instead of the evidence preceding the belief. That's what I'm suggesting to you. You see, because the evidence is giving us a completely different picture. As an example, Ezekiel 18:20 is what I was quoting from. It's telling you that if you ask for forgiveness from God, He will forgive you. Now you are saying that's not the reason only He came. He was the Messiah. The word Messiah only means the anointed one.
The anointed king or the anointed priest.
No, if you look at just the word Messiah.
For something.
What I am saying is it merely means that one who is anointed. Now, I don't have a problem with that. The issue here is why, according to you, he died. Your belief is he had to die for the sins of humanity. I am saying to you, wait a minute.
No, my belief is he had to die to establish that he was the Messiah.
So it wasn't to do with sin?
Yes, that also means that sin is under him. He has the higher authority.
So logically speaking, you are saying...
You focus on a part of it. But I'm saying the bigger picture, he's the Messiah.
Right. Here, I don't have a problem with him being the Messiah, but let me ask you a question. For him being the Messiah, can he not live?
So does the Messiah have to die? Is that what you mean?
No, I'm asking you a simple question. If he was the Messiah, does that mean he can't live?
That means he is alive. He lives.
He lives. Does he need to die?
Part of being the Messiah is that David was promised a son who would rule on his throne forever. Which means he has to live forever. And Jesus fits that description.
Now,
he is alive.
I would suggest to you, you know what? I see what you mean. But your belief perspective is not being supported by the evidence in the Bible. What I'm suggesting...
I would think it is.
No problem. That's not a problem. If you can quote me a specific verse which you think supports it, I don't have a problem.
It's all over.
He can die.
I am saying, look, if the reason for death is removed, then the whole picture changes. I am saying to you, sister, and I was saying that to the brother, when Christ asked to be saved from death, I am saying the Creator accepted his prayer. Where do I say it? In John 11:41, when he said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I know that you always hear me. Now, post alleged crucifixion, there is a common verse that we use with our Christian friends. In Hebrews chapter 5 verse 7, this is what it says. Who in the days of his flesh offered up prayers and supplications to him that was able to save him from death, and was heard in that he feared. What does that mean? That is what it says. If I can just finish.
What it means.
You are going to interpret it, aren't you?
You said, what does it mean?
No problem.
What it means, he died and God raised him from the dead. Yes, that's what it means.
Brother, I can agree with that, but it's saying he asked to be saved and he was heard.
So God did hear him, but not the way you want it. He heard him by dying first and then living again.
Brother, I can agree with you, with that important point you made. Not the way you wanted it. I'm actually agreeing with you. But what you are missing is the evidence is clearly showing he left it to the Creator to save him, and the Creator says, that's my job now, leave it to me. He did it. And how am I saying this? Because now, post-alleged crucifixion, we are told in Hebrews, who in the days of his flesh, when he was alive.
I just want to say just one thing.
Sure.
Because I'm not a pastor, I'm not a theologian.
No am I.
No, I know.
I'm a normal guy like you. No worries, no worries. No.
But just one thing. In history, we have reports about this event in the past,
Yes.
right? Not only the Bible.
True.
We have
True.
historians, they didn't
Yeah.
believe in God,
Yeah.
they were living in that time in history and they wrote about it.
Yeah.
They saw Jesus, they saw what happened,
Yeah.
and then they know. And there is evidence, there is actually, whatever it is.
Josephus and Tacitus.
Evidence.
And then they saw
Yes.
what happened.
Right, okay.
They actually
Yeah.
described how it happened,
Yeah.
and then it is said
Yeah.
that he actually died,
Yeah.
and it's impossible. Like the kind of death,
Yeah.
sufficient is something that it's impossible to survive. It's so severe. It's like
Yes.
they know he was. There was a tomb.
Yeah.
He was put in a tomb.
Yes.
And then even the Jews, the people who like not accepting Jesus as a Messiah, they said the tomb is empty.
Yes.
And what they actually used to say to justify that the tomb was empty is like, you Christians, you stole the body.
Yeah.
So if the body is not here, it means there was a body.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's not in the Bible. This is not written in the Bible. This
Yeah.
is written in secular history. So
No, I can understand, and I see your point, sister. But you see, I'll ask you this. When you talk about secular historians, none of them were present when this alleged incident occurred. If I can just finish, brother, yeah, it is a collection of information, yeah. That is what history is, yeah, a collection of information of alleged events that took place. There's no problem with that. What I am saying is, okay, let's have an assessment of the evidence now and look at it from the information we do possess. So, as an example, when we talk about, if I can just, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. So what
all the evidence shows that Jesus died. But
well, the evidence I have
the only
quoted, you haven't
reason-
responded to
the only
yet
reason-
definitively.
The only reason you doubt is because the Quran 600 years later stated he didn't die.
I haven't quoted. Actually, if I can come, brother,
I know
if I
where
can
it
come
comes
back,
from.
sister.
I know where it comes from.
As an example,
say
sorry,
all
brother,
the
if I can just
evidence-
finish and then I'll come back.
all
You
the
see,
evidence
I'll
shows
tell you what.
he died.
You see, Jesus Christ himself, if he alluded to the fact that he was not going to die, would you accept?
sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah. If according to the Bible, Jesus Christ suggested, would you believe it?
He didn't ask to be saved from the situation.
Okay.
The reason is he was fully God and fully man. So if he was fully man, he suffered as we suffer. He knows what we feel.
Yeah.
So the level of suffering he was going through was so intense, so severe. If he wasn't a man,
Yeah.
he wouldn't.
Survive.
Yeah, I mean.
But he didn't survive.
He didn't. But what I'm saying is like it's impossible to be a man, to be in a flesh, in a body.
I see what you mean,
And not
yes,
in
I
just
see.
don't open your mind, your mouth to say something like that. So that's why he said. But he then said, that God would do whatever He wanted.
I
to
can
do, and
understand
He
what
did
you are
it,
saying,
and there
sister.
was-
I can understand. If I believe it that way, what I am saying is, look, for 1 minute, just try and remove what you believe and look at the evidence. So, as an example, I said, if Jesus suggested it, would you accept it? Now, I would say, okay, let's have a look at what he says.
Did he suggest that?
He said, he's asked, he is asked, okay, Master, can you give us a sign? Yeah? And this is the Gospel of Matthew chapter 12 verse 38. He said, Master, give us a sign. Christ responds to them, a wicked and adulterous generation seeks a sign. There shall not be given any sign but one, the sign of Jonah. For as he was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the whale, so shall the Son of Man be in the belly of the earth. Now, it's an odd question this, yeah? Are you familiar with Jonah and the whale story?
Are you?
Let
me get it. We just discussed it as well.
Excellent.
Is he arguing that Jesus?
No, it's not.
But it suggested that we have so many. You can reference other things where Jesus is saying he's going to die.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, excellent.
No, that's what you need to. That's the sign of Jonah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
So what does it say?
Right.
What does it say? Where is Jonah?
I'm telling you, if he's in the belly of the fish, okay?
No.
Here.
The belly of the fish is
Yeah.
in. Hold on. The belly of
I'll
the
come
fish.
back to you.
The belly
Yeah.
of the fish is
Yeah.
in Hollywood. But he says, out of the belly of Sheol I cried, and you heard my voice.
Yeah, and where is Sheol? Where is Sheol?
What is that?
Historically, where is Sheol?
Tell me.
Do you know?
Tell
You
me.
don't know, do you?
I do.
Okay, I'll come back to you.
I want to know.
If we go back to this,
sorry,
yeah.
I need to go actually.
Oh, do you?
You'll
A
carry
pleasure
on.
meeting you. Yeah, we'll be going as well. A pleasure
Are
meeting
you
you.
here
Forgive.
every Sunday?
No, I'll be back just a week before. In 3 weeks.
Right. I'll
Come
be
back.
Here again. What's
I-
your name?
My name is Shabir. Shabir.
Shabir,
Yeah.
Erica.
Nice meeting you. I will see you hopefully, God willing. Okay. You can do a bit of research on it.
كتاب الله دستوري وخير الخلق أسوتنا بسنته انجلى نوري لهدي الحق أرشدنا كتاب الله دستوري وخير الخلق